Hasbro has announced that they now have a new CEO. It looks like that they will not be at Toyfair. We have some Transformers shows coming off of Netflix, and we get a first look at Legacy's Deluxe figures in packaging. Of course, I'm going to be covering the news for all of this, so without further ado, let's sit back, relax, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and let's transform and roll out. Consider supporting the channel on Patreon, becoming a channel member, or purchase some merch on my spring store today. Hey guys, it's RodimusPrimal. I am back with another video, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about this Transformers news, but before I get into that, I did want to let you guys know that yes, this is my first video of 2022. If you guys had saw my live stream, I believe it was the day before New Year's, I had started to feel a cold coming on, and it was like a sore throat with a cough and the head, you know, it knocked me out for quite a few days. You can kind of still hear it in my voice, and I'm having a difficult time talking. It's not the flu, it's not the beer bug. You don't got to worry about any of that. I'm okay, but it's just I'm still recovering from it. And on top of that, my family has been going through quite a bit with car troubles, and it's 2022 has started off rough. And unfortunately, it has held back my newest retrospective video, which I am going to be doing a video on Huffer. Is going to be my next retrospective, the first one for 2022. Should have been out before that point, but I've had no voice. And being bedridden, not being able to be in front of the keyboard kind of stinks. So I don't want to let you guys hold you guys up any further, so let's actually get into the news. First and foremost, Hasbro has announced that they have a new CEO. Late last year, Brian Goldner had passed away unexpectedly, and they have named a guy who I believe he was with Wizards of the Coast, and now he's being moved over to as Hasbro CEO, and he is now taking over. I know a lot of people are making fun of the guy's name. Unfortunately, yes, that this is his name, so bear with me on that one. I'm hoping that Hasbro is able to move forward with storytelling, with games, with TV shows, with movies, with figures, with toys, whatever comes down the pipeline. I hope Hasbro's success in that regard. I know people are going to have their ups and their downs about this kind of stuff, but it was unexpected to hear about Brian Goldner, and I'm hoping the best for the future for Hasbro. They have decided, though, that they are not going to be at Toyfair, at least according to the New York Post. This is being reported that Hasbro, Jazzwares, MGA Entertainment, along with Walmart, Target, and Amazon are not going to be at the in-person event at the Javits Center for New York Toyfair. Now, if you're not familiar with New York Toyfair, it is like the biggest hub, supposed to be every year, at least before the pandemic, was that, you know, everybody, you know, all these media outlets would go there to see the latest product that's coming out, whether it's, you know, dolls or action figures or games or what have you. And you know, Hasbro never actually had a big presence there. They would usually do like a off-site kind of thing, but they were going to be they were going to have a very big in-person thing. That was something that was announced earlier this year. You know, it just kind of stinks like if they're pulling out, but that probably means that Hasbro is going to be doing stuff with their individual brands like online around the same time as Toyfair, and they're probably going to end up talking to those of us like TFW 2005 and Sabertron and Allspark and maybe me and maybe a couple of other people, you know, T-Formers, a lot of good people, right? That we want to know about the stuff that's coming out for Transformers, right? Like that's our everything that we love, at least what we see on this channel. Because of course I have a second channel where I talk about other stuff too, and you know, probably going to do some more Godzilla videos on that second channel this coming up year, but and maybe some stuff about Cobra Kai and everything else, right? But I'm hoping that Legacy is a great series of figures for every type of Transformers fan, because they are obviously going to be coming out of that G1 shell 4 generations lines out of Legacy. That's their goal, right? we are now seeing the first wave in packaging for Kickback and Skids, Drag Strip, and Prime RC. And I don't care for this packaging. It's very much the same style packaging as the Origins Bumblebee, where there's no plastic here, which I don't care for, because it means the figures could possibly get damaged in shipment, which isn't that the whole reason why they put the plastic there to begin with? But they're trying to save the environment by damaging the figure and then trying to get the figure out of the packaging. It's like a catch-22, right? Like it's one of those things where I'm like, there has to be a line here drawn where, if stuff is coming out, it's got to be done smarter and better than the way that they're doing these. But as far as the figures themselves, I'm kind of like on the fence about RC in particular. I like the mold. I think the mold works for a female Transformer, possibly the Decepticon Flame War. Not so much for Prime RC, because I would have liked to have seen one that looks a little bit more like Prime RC, in particular for this character. But she does look good, It would be nice to have like a representation of Prime RC on the shelf next to a G1 RC. So I'm hoping that Studio Series 86 maybe does a better RC out of that figure. But Skids, Kickback, and Drag Strip are definitely on my to-get list. And, because I would like to get a deluxe scale Insecticon set. Would love I actually don't have any of the Combiner Wars combiners for, the Scramble City ones. So having a Menasor, I'm hoping that Menasor is good, especially after what we can see out of Drag Strip. And from what we've heard, it's not, excuse me, it's not necessarily going to be that way, but we'll see. We'll see where it goes. We do have a possible first look, though, at Exo Suit Spike. And judging from this image here, it looks like this was taken in a hurry kind of thing. And maybe this is going to be good. Just judged on the pictures that we can see here, it looks to be pretty cool. It's going to be a lot better than the one that came with Slag, for Daniel. To have Spike, maybe if they, retool the head and give us an actual Daniel figure as well as a Spike figure, that would be neat, because then you can have the two Exo Suits, standing side by side. Because again, the one that came with Slag is pretty terrible. So having one that transforms is pretty cool. But I don't necessarily know. From what we can tell, this is, like I said, this is probably, someone took this picture in a hurry, and we don't necessarily have official images of it yet. So I'm eager to see what it looks like. Usually I don't talk about speculative stuff. I usually wait until official news comes out. But in this particular case, it's kind of too, too official looking to not necessarily look like a Digibash or anything like that. So we'll see where it goes. Hopefully this is actually a really good figure when it's all said and done. The bad news, of course, is that Hasbro is pulling some of their shows off of Netflix. Not the actual War for Cybertron trilogy. I believe that because the contract with the War for Cybertron show is that it was produced by Netflix, so therefore it will remain on Netflix, at least for the foreseeable future. But the other shows, Transformers Prime, Rescue Bots, Robots in Disguise, and Rescue Bots Academy, will be pulled from Netflix, at least here in the US, beginning in February. From what I hear, and from what people are saying, is that in other countries they've already pulled them. And they're starting to show up on Hasbro's official Transformers YouTube channels. And I do know that the second season and the third season of Prime are on Tubi. So you can watch it on Tubi in the US. And the first season is currently on Netflix. But when that gets pulled, is it going to end up on Tubi? Is it going to end up on YouTube? How are you going to be able to watch all of these shows? And this is one of those times where I say I'm still a proponent of physical media. I fully believe in the concept of you buy a DVD, you have it, you can pop it in your DVD player at any time and watch these shows and never have to worry about the streaming services getting pulled off. And it also means that you usually get the better version of the show on DVD. Of course, I'm going to have affiliate links if you want to buy any of the shows that are available, in the description. But it kind of stinks for people who aren't able to afford and want to be able to just watch it like online. And, if you don't have access to it on YouTube, or if it's not on YouTube, or if it's not on Netflix, all these streaming services usually make it easier for people. And it stinks for anyone trying to get any of these shows. Robots in Disguise, specifically the 2015 show, has not had its entirety of the show released on disc. Rescue Bots Academy never came to DVD, at least as far as my knowledge is concerned. And the first Rescue Bots, I think you can only get the first season on DVD. And then the 2001 show in the US, it's never been released on DVD because of digital rights. And it's all the rights are in so many places, and it's we want to get them on physical media. I'd rather have it on physical media. I'd rather be able to buy the DVDs, get them, have them, be able to watch them whenever, and not have to worry about a streaming service pulling it this is happening here. With that said, like I said, I still have some stuff coming in the pipeline. I want to know what you guys think about this Transformers news. Are you upset about the shows leaving Netflix? Are you hoping that you're able to find any of the shows that you're looking for on disc or, on YouTube? Of course, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to thumbs up this video and subscribe. Check out my other videos as well. And as always, guys, until next time, till all are one.